Right, we're reloaded. I'm ready. There's Artie. Aim. Oh, it's a tracking shot. Oh, one shot in. One more. Breathe. Come on. Don't let Artie get away. Aim. Oh no! One shot left. Come on. Oh, this is going to be... What a shot! Hello, I'm RetroJules. You may have picked up that I have a slightly derogatory attitude towards tank destroyers, and I thought it's probably about time that I qualified that for you. Let me put the record straight. There is a skill to playing every type of tank, and I get that. I just have a problem with triangles. For example, it takes years to build one of these. You will either die a slave labour building one, you'll either die inside one, or if you're really unlucky, you're going to have some sort of alien invasion land on you. And, actually, although being around pyramids is possibly not always a bad thing, this guy always puts the willies up me to this day. I was going to tell you about this place, and I sent a couple of friends out to do some investigating for me, but unfortunately they never came back. Look at this! A red triangle in a road. What does that tell you? I'm parked up. I'm camping here for a little while. And here's the red triangle to show that that is exactly what I'm doing. And this is not a good sign to see. And then you've got the triangle cones, which means miles and miles of motorway are going to be shut off and nobody is going to be working in those lanes at all. And this pyramid absolutely does my nut in. I couldn't do the cube, let alone the pyramid. You see, triangles are bad shapes, and actually I do quite like those triangles, and those triangles look quite scrummy too. Hello. And those triangles look really quite delightful. This isn't helping my case. Let's just get on with the video, shall we? You see, the thing is for me, if I watch tank destroyers being played, I find it really, really boring. They're generally quite a campy style of gameplay. So is artillery, but artillery can cover the whole map, if there's no obstructions, without moving. Tank destroyers need to watch the map, react and move with their team and make sure they can hit what the team spots. I also think tank destroyer players are a little bit lazy because you just sit and wait for everybody else to do all the really risky spotting and unveiling of the enemy while you sit in a really big bush with your camo net on and your binoculars where you can't possibly be seen, and you just pop your shots off. Which is quite good if it's my shoulder being shot over by green triangles when I'm in a light tank, but not so good when there's red triangles left on the enemy and nothing else. And what do they do, and where do you find them? You find them sat at the back of the map, not very far from the spawn, waiting. I don't like triangles. I also find that triangles are the one shape that can ruin a game. If you have too many squares, that actually can be quite hilarious. If you have too many heavy tanks, too many mediums, arguably too many light tanks, doesn't spoil the game. But if you get teams full of triangles, it ends up being a really stally, campy, crappy game. But also, I don't like campy style gameplay and campers, and they can come in all shapes and sizes. I actually did roll my Hellcat out the other day, and I just had one game in it. It was an American op, I think, I was trying to get, and I just got 4 kills really easily. 4 kills in my light tank is normally a fair achievement. In the Hellcat, it was easy because nobody knew where I was. But also what kills me is most of the maps are really pretty. They're attractive, they're lovely, and in a tank destroyer, you don't get to see any of it because you barely leave the cap. You're always within the vicinity of the cap, and you don't get to explore these wonderful maps. And that makes a really dull video too. So there they are, dirty, filthy triangles. Look at them all. Hardly left the cap at all. And I know that is their role. I know that is kind of how it works. Doesn't mean I have to like it. Now, do I hate people that play triangles? No, I don't hate the people. I hate the people that are in triangles because they're in a triangle. Do I not like my clan members playing triangles? I don't have a problem with that at all. Unless they're red ones. In which case, I'm afraid I will show no mercy. And there's an E5 side on. E5, sorry, E3, beg my pardon. Always get the E's muddled up. And this game is going to come down to having to dig out dirty, filthy triangles that have just not gone very far in the map. You see, when I'm a scout, I feel like I work quite hard in the game. I go straight out, far across the map as I dare, quite often too far, to highlight the enemy for our guys, so they know where they are. It's a little bit risky, but as long as I stay on the move, generally I'm okay. I then try and get back to my guys, find a position where I can keep spotting, and then support. And while I'm doing all this running around, exposing myself in my tinfoil tank, these dirty, filthy triangles are just staying at the cap. But, however, these 2 filthy triangles didn't. And they died. So, there's probably a lot to be said for filthy shapes staying and defending the cap. So the Death Star is taken out. And I can't remember how this game pans out, but I know that we are losing. And apart from one tank, the T10, they are a right bunch of campers. And in fact, that object and the T10 are the only tanks that have really left the cap vicinity, and probably, on reflection, more fool them. Great shot, thanks, I really appreciate that. It's not often my shots are great, or good, or even hit anything, apart from rabbits and moles. So, the T10 is out here, so there it is. I'm on a reload. Their RT seems very quiet. That tank hasn't spotted me, so I don't feel a threat from RT. But now there's that threat, so I'm going to go in and stay on the move. Oh, a nice shot in. Oh, bounce that shot, aim, retro, get that oh no! Oh, an RT are onto me. Will I ever learn when to auto-aim and when to not auto-aim? Probably not. Right, I really should have taken that T10 out. That was really bad tankery, an ideal opportunity to take that tank out. And that is the only tank that has the ability to light us up and spot our location. Right, do I get a second go? Let's get this dirty scout now out of the game. Ah, aim, for God's sake. Alright, don't. Auto aim will do. Tank taken out. Let's wait for artillery shells to fly in, shall we? No? Okay. Got away with that. Right. T10 taken out, which was effectively being their scout at this stage in the game and lighting us up. 6 tanks, just under half their team, all sat somewhere around the cap. And we've got to go and dig them out. And this is the bit that really winds me up. I don't know why. I know it's part of the game. It just does. Oh, there you are. A waffle. Well, you managed to travel a whole 3 squares away from the cap. You haven't seen much of the map. RT are getting lit up. Unfortunately, we don't have our RT in play, which would have been fantastic. I'm really the tank that needs to do the spotting, so I decide to take a really wide berth and go right round the back, hoping that the enemy will be interested in the RTD and the heavy at C3, and I can try and get some flanking shots. I do not hold up much hope in this game. Right, and yeah, no, this driving over the black and white line is not going to help anybody. Although the way this game ends, I'm probably going to wish that I could actually drive over that line and disappear from the game completely. Right, good use of bush and camo. There they are. And stupid. Those tanks did not know I was there until I took my shot. I was trying to track it, and for what purpose? Our tanks do not have a line of sight. I wasn't going to get any assisted damage. All I actually achieved was letting the enemy know that, hey guys, look, I'm over here, I'm on this side of the map, you might want to keep an eye out for me now. Stupid. And when I play stupidly, when I'm trying to dig out triangles, I hate them even more. Yes, it's possible. As I get more and more frustrated with my gameplay, the way I play, and the more triangles there are on the opposing team still alive, the angrier I get. And I'm not an angry person, but triangles wind me up. I have no problem with Artie. In fact, there's a potential Pascucci if I can get there, because they're just going to be sat back in the K1 down in that little dip out of harm's way. And if only we could get rid of their tank destroyers. Trouble is, bit of a platoon going on. So they do have an advantage with that already. So I just choose, do you know what? I've got full health. I'm going to sweep in. Right. 1 triangle taken out. Yeah, well that was a hell of a whack up the backside. But 1 TD less to worry about. Let's see if our team can do anything. Our heavy is a chieftain. If that chieftain can play it hull down, it's practically impenetrable to the TDs. However, there's going to be Artie raining shots. I know that Artie's there, and I'm thinking, if I can just pop a couple of quick shots in you, then that would be great. Yeah, it was always a risk. But digging out triangles is not something I enjoy. I don't mind if we still have Artie in play, but we don't. And there's the chieftain. And yeah, you're going to have Artie shots raining on you any minute, I bet. Can the chieftain save the day? Well, not putting yourself side on to that tank destroyer. It went off. Oh, I shouldn't laugh. Off with its head. Well, it was a defeat. No surprise there. half decent 3,800 damage. 4 tanks destroyed. Came top. Kind of feel like I did my bit in that game. Now, both teams are highly mobile. Only one dirty triangle on each team. This to me says this should be a really good, aggressive, mobile game. There are also 3 more red squares on that top line. I completely missed my chance in the first game, and it would be so nice to take those off the top line. I am going to go to my usual spotting position, light up the enemy, and let our team do their bit. Now here's a question for you, because I don't know the answer. I am using this fallen tree as cover. If you knock a tree down in the game, it disappears from the map. It's still there visually, but it doesn't work as active cover. However, if a tree is already fallen in the game, does that act as effective cover? I really don't know. I suppose really I could have done my homework and asked Wargaming beforehand. But I think it's more fun that we work it out between ourselves. So here we go, spotting the team, bringing in some really good assisted damage. I'm really happy. One of the reasons I play light tanks is because I can rely on other people to help me score. It's probably a little bit like tank destroyers really. I spot them, they hit them. I spot them, they hit them, I get assisted. I suppose it kind of works in that way. But what I am slightly concerned about is we haven't gone beyond halfway across the map and the reds are coming. And even though that was off to a really good start, spotted a third of the team, got in a nice bit of assisted damage, I'm a bit concerned that we're being a bit campy. And we're just getting to corners and staying there. And that generally doesn't work. But we won't make that call. This is a game with virtually no triangles. Mobile teams either side. Quite heavy orientated. But heavies are mobile. That's fine. E100 over there. And I think, actually, if I look at the mini-map, I reckon the only tanks left at the cap are the 3 red squares. And I'm going to take my opportunity, because even their tank destroyer has pushed and isn't being campy on their team. I'm going to take this opportunity to not only try and take Artie out, but get myself a nice little Pascucci. Think I'll take the Lorraine out first. Can completely rely on auto aim from this close combat. Keep moving, because now Artie know I'm here, and hopefully they're all quaking in their boots. But I don't really want to be shooting on the move from too far away, because this is not an accurate tank. One shot in. Artie derps its shot. Game over for you, my friend. 1 red square left. Keep moving, Retro, because surely that tiger is going to try and get a shot on you. Now it knows I'm coming. It's going to try and shotgun me. I'm good. I'm on full health. I'm going to take that chance. Just sneak around, have a little peek, and... oh, it derps its shot too. I got a nice auto aim in. It's going to try and go for the ram, but it is nowhere near mobile or quick enough. Pascucci in the bag. Great. Selfishly, I'm really happy. But actually, that's going to take the pressure off our team. If they're going to be campy and sitting around on corners and things, if they're not in cover, out of the vicinity or out of range of arty, then they're going to be grateful for having that arty pressure lifted. Now, this is a problem. Trying to go for a turret ring shot, the accuracy of this gun at that distance, that was a very big ask. It's going to be a bit of a standoff between me and that T-32 because I was half considering capping. I'm right over here. My team do not really need me spotting because they haven't really gone anywhere. They can do their own spotting. I came out here to take out Arty. Mission accomplished. And I choose to stay here. But if that T-32 is smart, and it is, it's just got to play it hull down, and I don't stand a chance of penetrating my shots. Not really sure what my thought process is. The teams are completely even. I would like to think with Arty in play, we have an advantage. Well, that's the first shot I've taken in the game from that T-32, but got a shot back. And I'm starting to think to myself, I don't have an advantage here. That T-32 is going to have better gun depression than me. It's got that bulletproof turret. So I try and put a bit of pressure on. I'm kind of hoping that maybe Arty are looking this way, but I think Arty have got their hands full. But you never know. Yeah, that T-32 was always going to be shooting over my head. Not quite sure what it was aiming at. It wasn't going to get a shot from there. But I am concerned, yeah, that... Ooh, I missed that one. Surely, with me putting this pressure on, it's going to come up desperate to put a shot in. And yeah, that shot was going to go in. Not going to work. I am not in a strong position. I can out-tier the tank, but I can't really outplay it unless I get really close. And then that's the thought that dawns on me. I can run rings around that T-32. I've just got to get there. 4 heavies versus a square, a diamond, and a heavy. I don't really know what to call a diamond with 2 lines going through it. So I don't know why I keep referring to them as shapes. It's because it's all about triangles. Filthy triangles. And dirty campers. We were such a campy team in this. We never broke across the halfway. I was the only tank that got to the other side of the map. Which isn't overly surprising, but then we had the 2 mediums camping up at G4. The classic tank destroyer position. What were the mediums doing up there? They were also the eyes and ears of the team. Now, I don't know what I can do here, really. Because Arty is absolutely sure to be taken out. E100 is on a one-shot, I reckon. Oh, a side shot on the... I missed my chance. It was worth snapping that shot. It wasn't fully aimed. But that was a side shot on the turret. And that could have taken that E100 out. And... not risking that snapshot. It might not have gone in. It might have not have gone anywhere close to the tank. Yeah, cost me that. I was just trying to sniff for a weak spot. And campy team lost. Well, actually, it's not a bad little score, all things considered. Brought in a nice bit of assisted. 3rd class mastery, the magic Pascucci. And came 2nd overall. 2nd out of a bad bunch. Really? And finally, we roll out the Tier 10 Soviet Light, the T100 LT. The super fast, the super hard to hit, the super auto-aimy, super unskilled tank to play. My kind of tank. Just under half our team are triangles. They've got 4. They are quite a well-balanced enemy. We are quite TD heavy. But of course, if you have a group of tank destroyer players who know how to play their tanks, who can read a minimap and react to the game in front of them, then suddenly those triangles become heroes. So I go out to do a usual bit of spotting and I keep pushing. And I'm kind of aware that we've got 4 of our 6 TDs on my side of the map. So my job is important, and I can't believe I just bounced a shot in this. That flat lid does come in handy. So I probably pushed a little bit further than I thought. Kind of thought about handbrake turning and hiding behind that rock. Kind of wish I had now, because I would have been on full health still. And I do admire players that can hit me on the move, because this tank is hard to hit. That bat chat has got to be toast, because bat chats are rubbish at shooting on the move, and at this range, this tank rarely misses. Although a blind shot was worth a go, but I reckon that bat chat is probably spent. And even though auto aiming on a tank on the move isn't a good idea, if you can just catch it when it changes direction and goes in a straight line, then this tank will absolutely nail it. Nearly thought about a ram, finished the bat chat off, and oh, bollocks, oh no, it was all going so well until, surprise surprise, my driving let everything down. Right, it's time. Oh god, it's time to get out of there. I am now down to a quarter of my health. That all went a little bit wrong. Keep on the move, stay out of trouble, and just aware that that TD there, was it a T28 from what I remember, isn't looking this way. So I should easily be able to outgun this and don't even need to bother. The good old triangles at the back of the map are doing their bit. And one thing I do admire about a good tank destroyer player, because it's something I'm not, you have to be a very good shot. Because you are normally aiming from quite a distance. So hats off to those players, and they're in a really good position. I want to keep things lit up for them. I love this map. With this tank, it's brilliant. It's a nice big map. A map that you can really stretch your legs. There's that T32. Little bit of a pause reversing there. I'm surprised I didn't take a shot. And just snapping in the auto aims here. I'm not going to poke out and aim properly because the aim time on this and the accuracy is pretty poor. It is kind of better if you just shoot on the move. And I'm good for one more shot and then it'll be game over after that. And I'd rather not take that chance. Yeah, no, it's just not going to work. It's time to relocate. They know I'm there. They're expecting me. I don't really want to keep sticking my nose or my bum out to keep them lit up. And we are losing this badly. We are 4 tanks down. This is not looking good at all. There's the usual fracas going on in the ravine. I think there's a heavy coming down on the A line, which is where our 2 TDs are, barely away from the cap. And I have to say that, who put that stupid place to put a rock. And I have to say that those TDs probably did the right thing by being around the cap. There it is at A5. And the rest of the enemy are going to pour through the ravine. And I see a red square. And I just can't help myself. And in the back of my mind, I always know that not only do I love taking red squares out, but it's going to help our team. especially as we're TD heavy and they kind of want to sit in one position and outspot the enemy with their binos and camo nets. And this is going to be such an easy red square to take out. It's but I have the attention of 2 heavies and surprise surprise, can't run off this map either. There's the T-32 with its back to me. Shot it in the back and it's still not looking this way. Well, that was an easy tank kill, but I'm pretty sure that that Tiger is looking my way. And oh, don't really want to destroy the cover that I've got. Yeah. I'm not sure snatchy auto aim on a Tiger's going to work, but I don't want to get hit. This game is evening up. We've pulled it back. Oh, and I took the hit. And that's where I was thinking about going out to aim a proper shot, and that was my downfall. Right. Practically game over. I cannot afford to take a shot. Now let's see if I can get these capping icons sorted out once and for all. The enemy are capping. They have 2 tanks in our cap. And as much as I'm probably the fastest tank to get there, I take it upon myself to cap. We have 2 TDs very close to our cap. They are surely going to get there way before I possibly could, if the enemy aren't engaging them in such a way to stop them. It's kind of all about watching the mini-map now. 40 seconds, still 2 of the enemy capping out. And even if I glance at the capping icons, they still do my head in. I will never get the hang of these icons in the heat of battle. It's nice to just sit here and work them out in a very relaxed manner where I am not under threat in the game at all. We're 2 tanks up. We're 1 tank up. 3 TDs, a light and a medium, a very balanced team against 3 heavies and a TD. And they are still capping. 30 seconds left before we could potentially lose the game, but the triangles are doing the right thing. They're making their way over there. The medium seems to be dragging its heels. I don't know what the medium is, but it always seems to be behind the TDs. But really it could do with being in front of them to spot for them. 9 seconds, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Oh, a reset, and I'm just sat here in the cap messing myself, thinking, please, please, did I do the right thing by sitting in the cap? Please reset the cap. "22 seconds, they're still capping. Our team are right in there. It's a bit of a mess. Completely reset the cap. Nicely done. Those TDs reacted to the game so well, and I'm glad that I stayed where I am because they did the right thing. And then it's the question of, do I now leave the cap? Do we have this game sewn up? How much damage did our guys take defending that cap? And it did take a bit of resetting. The 2 tanks that were in there were not going anywhere and were not letting up. But you do the honourable thing and let the team win by a complete annihilation. We worked hard in that game to pull that game back, and you have to thank the green triangles who brought this game home, reacted to the map, pushed towards the enemy, and then went back to defend the cap. Hurrah, and thank you to our green triangles. How could you possibly not like triangles after a game like that? A very decent 64,000 silver, 4,800 XP, 6,000 combined damage, second class mastery, 3 tanks destroyed, and Retro comes top in amongst the 3 triangles. Well, I hope you enjoyed the gameplay. I hope you kind of understand that perhaps why I don't like triangles and campy gameplay tactics. In the UK at the moment, we are still having the hottest, driest summer on record. It's amazing. As a result of that, I'm not making as many videos and I'm not tanking as much, and I have been tanking a bit in the evenings and the games have been nothing more than mediocre at best. So I'm going to rely on the library of footage that I've got, and I hope I can still make some enjoyable videos for you. In the meantime, keep safe, keep tanking, and I'll see you soon.